More recently, cEDH has become a lot more popular. More and more people are playing it, more and more people are trying it. In the last year, I myself have become a cEDH player. Before, if you go watch any of my old videos, I used to say I never play cEDH, I don't want to play cEDH, but I had a bad mindset about cEDH. Why all of a sudden are there lots of cEDH players or people trying cEDH or coming into cEDH? Well, first off, as people play the game, their decks tend to progressively get stronger and stronger and stronger. And realistically, at some point, your level pushes to where you're either going to go cEDH or you're just going to stay casual. Secondly, a lot of it has to do, there's a lot more people talking about cEDH. In the past, there's only like one or two major channels doing it, and now there's a lot of channels that are talking about cEDH. You see a lot more coverage of cEDH, people talking about cEDH on the side of it. There are more tournaments, there's more exclusivity, and also the fact that Wizards actually now has a bracket 5 that would be considered its a part, which is considered cEDH. It actually recognizes it as its own little section of the bracket system, which is really cool. I really like that idea. But on top of that, it just tends to happen because here's the thing. In cEDH, for the most part, most of the time, when you sit on a table and someone says, I'm playing a cEDH deck, unless they're playing Fringe or they're playing something they think is cEDH and it's not cEDH, you know what you're expecting. You're like, oh, because you're going to win on turn 1, turn 2. Sometimes, yes. Sometimes decks win. But you know what most decks do right now? It is a very mid-range cEDH, which means games last 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 turns. People are trying to set up their boards. They're stopping the win cons, and then they're trying to control the board so they can win on top of the stack. That's kind of how it's going right now. Now, that's not saying that there aren't times where people win turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, because it can be. But overall in cEDH, you're bringing the strongest cards, the best interaction, the best cards that you can to try to win the game. You're having multiple win cons in your deck, multiple ways to, if one win con gets stopped, it's fine, I've got other win cons, I can do this, I can do that, I can still win. That is kind of the mindset of it, but also you have lots of interaction, so you should have lots of counter spells, removal things that can stop things. That's kind of, now sometimes people don't, and that's how people win early. But when there's lots of interaction, it gets really fun. That's kind of the mindset of it is you're trying to win, and you're trying to win in the most efficient way possible. That's why Thassa's Dimcon is one of the most ran combos, if not the most ran combo in all of cEDH, because it's just so easy to win with that. That's the idea of cEDH, and you know what you're sitting down to. Sadly, at a casual table, you could have as many rule 0 conversations as you want and talk to people and say, my deck is a 3, but even inside of a 3, there's a lot of variance. Now, granted, and people get upset, people complain. Some of the most toxic games I have played at where people have gotten upset or angry at myself or other people at the table have been those middle of the road brackets, because it's really hard to describe, because there, in my personal opinion, there are 2 levels to a bracket 3. There are even 2 levels to a bracket 4. You've got, on bracket 4, you've got really, really strong bracket 4 that's almost cEDH, just not good enough, not fast enough. Maybe it's missing a few pieces, or it's not strong enough to compete in the current cEDH meta, that kind of thing. Whereas a lower bracket 4 is something like my Eldrazi deck, where I would tell people it's a 4, but it's not. You have like 1 or 2 game changers in it, I think, maybe even that. It's just gross Eldrazi. That's kind of the mindset of that one. Whereas like a 3, I have a Ruxa deck that's probably a legit 3. Bottom line, tier 3, no combos in it. Just go swing wide, go boom. I don't think I have any game changers in it, but maybe I do. If I don't remember. But that's kind of the idea of it. And I would consider that a low 3, or whatever your 3 is. Whereas a high 3 has your 3 game changers in it. It's very refined. It's got combos and all of this stuff in it, but you're not winning super fast. That is where there are some variances, sadly, in decks. That's kind of when we had the 1 to 10 system. 9 and 10 were cEDH. 8 was like that fringe cEDH / really high. And 7 was where most decks fell. Whereas a 6 could be right under. But see, here's the thing. My decks at 3s can compete with anything at a 3. My decks at a 4 can kind of hold up with certain 4s, but some things it may not be able to. If you're running basically a fringe cEDH deck, my Eldrazi deck may or may not, depending on my hand I draw. But it's a lot of fun. And it's its own thing. But cEDH has become, because it's just really easy to sit and play. There's a lot more coverage of it out there. I don't have anything against casual. I enjoy playing casual from time to time when I pull the decks out. But I really like cEDH because there's a lot of different interactions and things you see and combos and different decks you've seen before, and it's the same. Everyone's like, oh, but it's all the same decks, it's all the same combos. It really isn't. There are so many different decks out there and so many different lines, and the fun part is to watch somebody figure out the puzzle of how their line works and how even on top of their win con getting removed, they could still possibly win. So give cEDH a shot, give it a try. I'm trying to put out some more cEDH content. I want to talk more about Standard, but I've been holding off on Standard because we're about to have a rotation, and when rotation happens, you'll see some more Standard stuff because everything changes. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on cEDH. Why do you think it has been growing, and do you enjoy cEDH? Do you hate cEDH? I would love to hear your thoughts. If you don't like cEDH, what is your issue with it? Have you ever had a chance to play? If you don't like casual games, what is the issue with the casual games? I love interaction, I love talking, and I would love to have conversation with you. Let's have these conversations, and maybe I can have some more videos talking and discussing these things. Let me know in the comments below, and as always, we'll see you next time. Hey, by the way, make sure you're following, because if you're not following, guess what? You're going to miss out on really cool things like this. And some giveaways we got coming in as well. We'll see you next time.